Starting, and we are on live. Let me go get my phone so I can look at the comments. How y'all doing, everybody? Good to see everybody. We on here once again to go ahead and spit the truth and spit some facts. Because what we spit is facts. We don't spit fake news. I'm gonna tell you why I say we don't spit fake news, because we spit news, that stuff that we actually see that's actually out there. So what's going on, John? How you doing, bro? Salute to everybody. So it's just a lot to be. It's a lot that I got to talk about. But I ain't gonna talk about it all today. I'm just gonna talk about a little bit. It's a lot that we all got something to say. You know, we got Josh in the house, man. What's up? What's up, Josh?
What's up? Getting off work.
All right, off work. See, we do got jobs, y'all. Yeah. Now you look like the white Uber guy. He's sitting there driving in there. The white Uber guy. Coming the white Uber guy.
I just don't have a muffler that makes noise.
You know, call him the yellow taxi cab guy.
Sure. Yeah, I drive a big white Dodge heavy duty truck.
All right. Truck.
Got big Ted Cruz sign in the back window.
All right. I'm so disturbed, brother. I'm so disturbed, and I'm gonna be talking about this a whole lot, especially before November and after November. This next gen, come on, the next generation. I know everybody take what y'all feel that how the next generation is going to be, if there's a next generation. I'm just saying, can you just imagine that next generation running this earth? That's impossible. Because I'm just saying, God is in order gods, and I can't. I couldn't even see my kids running the generation. I'm just saying, I couldn't see my nephews running it.
I mentor my nephews. Dad's not in the picture, interesting, and I've taken them hunting. I've been red pilling them since they were little.
Good.
Back in the days, since 50 Cent was barely coming out.
Right.
And there's still, I think there's hope. We just gotta, not stand idle. They're being indoctrinated since kindergarten. They're giving them books. I mean, they're giving them speeches. They're talking to them about things that we didn't get talked about until we hit puberty.
Mm-hmm.
Molly has two moms, things like that. And, I think there's still hope, but, we're becoming Sodom and Gomorrah every day, more and more.
Yes. So where do we go from here? What do we do, y'all? Like, I'm very mindful. I have a lot of common sense, right? We all do. But then sometimes you got to take a pause for a second and really say, what can we do? What can we do to help this next generation? What can we do to save this next generation? What can we do? I need advice from y'all too. I give y'all advice, but we need advice from each other. What could we do? We need to go dig deep on what's going on. We have to use our common sense more than ever. Where do we go from here? Where do we go? We got to go to, like I said, I got a daughter that walked away from the madness. I'm hoping to get on here real soon and she can talk about this. I told her she ain't got to show her face on here. But it's just like, there is hope. Like you said, look, Josh, there is hope, because my daughter did walk away. She did walk away, and she started seeing some stuff that Kanye was saying. My daughter did walk away. And it's not even about coming to Trump. It's about coming to reality, coming to the Most High, the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. Go back where it all started from. What's your take on this, Josh?
I think that MTV and cable and all these movies have been doing doing the devil's deeds by desensitizing everybody. I remember I was born in 1980, and in 1980, you didn't see these things on TV, 16 and pregnant. You didn't hear people talking about all this disrespectful language and rap towards women.
Yep.
And now it's, you can't watch a movie without seeing a sex scene. And, we're all adults, but our kids are seeing these things at a much younger age. They're sexualizing our children. And you got these little 9-year-old boys being promoted as transgender. Like, what is that? At 9 years old, I was picking my nose and catching frogs.
Mm-hmm.
What thinking about women and having, girlfriend back in the day was you write a little letter. Do you want to be my girlfriend? Check yes or no.
Yep.
Now it's like, hey, let's hook up. And we have a lot of these kids growing up thinking that everything's okay because nobody's complaining about me. We got parents that are helicopter parenting, as they're on autopilot. They figure as long as the police don't bring my kids home or I get any complaints from school, I'm just gonna hover on top of them and just wait for them to turn 18 and release them into society. And that's the problem. You have to not burn, but you have to inscribe your kids with your beliefs. You have to give them barriers. You got to teach them. I was born in a Christian family, and I was taught to respect women, the 10 Commandments, golden rule. I guarantee you, if you go to the mall and you ask somebody, "Hey, what's the golden rule?" I'll give you $100 if you tell me. They won't know. They won't know. They won't know. And these kids, they don't have anybody to look upon for an example to be a father or a mother except their parents. And they have the situation that they're in. I have an 11-year-old daughter and a 6-year-old, and they get an example. They may not know it, but they're learning how a husband needs to be from me and how a mom needs to be from my wife. And people don't realize those things. Kids grow up, they go into college. They may be the most Christian kid ever, but I have a cousin, his daughter went to Cornell University and came back. Nobody even recognized her. Purple hair, LGBT, this and that, and how did that happen in one semester? One semester that happened. We need to take better care of our kids. We take more care of our smartphones than we do with our kids. It sounds silly to say that, but our kids, they're always learning, and we need to be teaching them. Otherwise, we're in trouble. We already got kids growing up. We got a bunch of dreamers that are turned into lawyers. They're turned into activists. And they have the right to be an activist, but our kids are going to be competing with these dreamers. And we all know where they're going. They're going to the left. They're going to the left, and we don't have much. We're literally like at the battle of the Alamo right now with the left and our kids. We see the enemy. There's a lot of them on there, and some of these battles, we may not win them, but at the end, we will come ahead. We just got to put some effort into it, not ignore what's going on. People, they rather not talk about things like sex and politics to their kids because they feel that they're too young. But if you don't do it, guess what? They're already getting it and you don't even know it from their liberal friends and teachers. Oh, Mo, I don't hear you. No, I got no sound. guess most trying to fix it is right now I'm 37, and I was always told when I was little, you got to work for what you have. You want to drive, go get a job, make some money, save up a little money, and mommy and daddy will pay for something, and then you get a car. But I think these kids, they feel like they're too entitled they deserve everything. And the sad thing is, as parents, we give them what we didn't have, and that seems to be a weakness. My weakness. That's one of my weaknesses. When I was little, I had a dog that the neighbor left us. My parents didn't let us have anything that had to do with firearms or fireworks, anything fancy. Heck, I remember going to Fiesta, a grocery store, and getting Converse for $10, and they didn't even come in a box. They were rubber bands. And I think that's affecting how our kids are being brought up. They're being brought up to expect to be given a handout. As parents, we love our kids. Then the government comes in and gives them a handout, and they're like, "Hey, I like this handout." And
can you hear me?
Hey, yes, sir. You're back.
Oh, I'm back.
Yes,
let me get back on the camera and see. Could you hear me on the camera? No, the camera it was an error again, so I will not be back to get on the camera. So you did that last night. All right.
I hear you, but I don't see you.
Yeah, they took away the camera. They said the camera not working. Did that last night, so just gotta do it like this.
That's all right. Sorry, y'all can look at my ugly bug.
Right here.
But what I was saying is, like, we love our kids too much. Yeah, I don't think it's such a thing as loving your kids too much, but these kids are growing up with the mentality that everything gets handed to them, and they don't learn to appreciate things. And they're our future. You know, we want them to have what we didn't have.
Yeah.
And in the process, I think it's hurting them more than helping them. You know, we do teach them their own little lessons, you know, but we got to teach our kids the value of the dollar. We got to teach our kids how to pray. You know, it's the basic. You know, we need to get back to the basics. Kids are so addicted to iPhones and Androids. People get addicted to them like they get addicted to nicotine. I swear, when my kids were little, you take the phone away from them, you'd swear you didn't even recognize them. They were throwing a fit. You're like, holy cow! It's like taking a drug from an addict.
Yeah. This is unbelievable.
And then politics, all these politics. My daughter's 11. I took her to her first political rally Saturday, and she's like, "Dad, what's all these people with guns? Why do they have their guns? Don't they know that there's police here?" And I told her, "Honey, didn't we have this talk on the way here about the Second Amendment and then the freedom to rally? And, you know, they may be little, they learn a little bit, but we just got to keep talking to them about the basics. Because they're going to grow up one day, and they're going to have to defend themselves at work. They're going to have to defend themselves. They're going to have people come up to them and try to perverse them. You know? I've always been told, when I was little, they're like, "Oh man, wait till you get to college. Those are the best years ever." I never knew why. And I went to careers. I chose not to go to college, and I went to school for something else. I went to career school, and we got to prepare our kids, because once you drop them off at school, at college, and they stay there, they're on their own. They're like a sheep, and the lions are there ready to devour them, to corrupt them. That's those are our future. That's our future kids. You know, they're going to be our future senators, our future mayors, our future fill in the blank.
Yep. Just getting off work, huh? Can you hear me?
Switch here. Yeah, but there's I believe there's still hope. I think, you know, my thoughts with hope is, you know, hope isn't enough. We saw what Obama brought with his hope. You know, we got to do things like you said. We got to act. We have to put things and set things in motion. Otherwise, you're just a bystander. And being a bystander doesn't do anything but make a crowd. Hope I'm making sense with that.
Man, you're making a lot of sense. That's real talk. You know, that's what people don't teach no more. They don't teach that stuff no more. They teach they teach uneducated stuff, even though they go to school and, you know, and get a so-called education, but they don't really teach. They don't teach education no more. Education is not the most education that you get out of school. The education is when you educated, you know, about life, and these people are not educated about life. You know,
Yep.
they're not pro-life. They don't want to teach pro-life.
I remember when I was in school, two particular things. When I was in high school, we had a test, and they had asked. One of the question was, you know, where did the first Homo sapiens come from?
Mm-hmm.
And I put, well, Adam was made by God, and Eve was made from a rib. You know, that's what I've always been taught. And the teacher's like, hey, you know, this is the theory of evolution states that we come from monkeys.
Oh, man.
From an amoeba. We were amoebas. And I was pretty active. I was a nerd in high school. I'm the guy that had no friends, computer junkie. Everybody came to me to help them fix their computers, but, you know, I knew my stuff. You know, my dad, he majored in theology, and my mom sent me along with him because she didn't want nobody taking her man. Back when I was 5, 6, 7, 8. But, you know, you can't stand up against your teacher nowadays in college. They'll fail you.
They will. Oh, conservative Mexican on live. I gotta get conservative Mexican on here. Oh, Tanya, you said who's speaking with me? This is Josh. Real righteous brother. Strive for perfection every day. Always have on the full armor. And it's good to have people that always put on the full armor in our corner. That's the best people to have our backs right there. For real. Because it's real. That spirituality in them.
Yeah, some people say, oh, he's just a holy roller. I was called a holy roller in high school. I was like, hey, call me whatever you want, because it's about me. I know where I'm going when I pass. I know where I'm going to be after high school. You know, I went straight into a career school, and by about a year after college, I was making $10 an hour. Now, $10 an hour was a lot back in '98, '99. And God helps those who help themselves, and I helped myself to an education, respecting people, and I'm happy to say that since I was 16 years old, I've never been without a job. I've had up to 2 jobs, and not because I needed it, because I was bored. And God takes care of His people. He'll sometimes make you go through some tough stuff, but that's to toughen you up.
Mm-hmm. Toughen us up, you know.
Hey, look, I got a thumbs up from a guy. I don't know if y'all caught that.
Oh, snap.
A guy gave me a thumbs up because my Ted Cruz rear window sticker. See, you don't know who you're going to touch or who you're going to impact when you're out there in public.
I like Ted Cruz now. I mean, at first I was looking like, hearing stuff about Ted Cruz, and when I saw Ted Cruz go to court against the way he shut down Zuckerberg, I said, I got my respect, dude.
Yeah. That was...
You earned my respect. you know what? All right, I was wrong about you. You good. I can admit I was wrong.
He's very well spoken, especially against these debates with Robert or Beto, whatever he wants to call himself this week.
Yeah. Ted Cruz, he's the bomb. Thebomb.com. He got my respect. You know, I still think that was a clone. That wasn't even a Zuckerberg. They cloned him. They cloned him and made him come up there and
It
test
looked like something out of MK Ultra.
That wasn't him. He was sitting back laughing at everybody. That wasn't him. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Zuckerberg trips me out. Like just the way he looked during those hearings.
Yeah.
He looked like a lizard. He didn't even look like he was really there. It looked like he was being. I'm not trying to sign conspiracy theories. It almost looked like he was being controlled remotely. He just stood there and drank about 10 gallons of water during that hearing. Yeah, and then Google didn't have they didn't even show up to, they were asked to come and speak after Zuckerberg. They didn't even show up.
Yep.
We have so much working against us, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and not enough people know that they have it in them to speak out. Speak out. You know, there's a lot of people out there that listen to political radio talk shows on the radio, but never called in. You know, take some time, call in. You know, you'd be surprised if you get through. You may touch somebody out there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're trying to do here, and that's what a lot of these social media companies don't want us to be doing. You know, if it wasn't for social media, I don't think a lot of these grassroots efforts would have ever took off.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they're trying to get rid of us. You know, I saw today that Facebook took down 12 more conservative and liberal websites. I mean, Facebook sites.
Mm-hmm.
Being too hateful, or like, has this country come down to having emperors again, kings? You got the SPLC. If you get on their list, all of a sudden you can't do business. Like, you can't do business anymore. You'll stop being able to take credit card payments. Then you got Zuckerberg and Jack. I forgot his name, but the CEO of Twitter. They can call you if they ban you, and then CNN finds out. It's like it's the end of your career. It's the end of your social media life.
Mm-hmm.
People just. I don't know. I think people, little by little, we're going to start turning to a different social media platform. You know, I'm thankful that Google's still out there, and we can be on it, spread the word. But eventually, people are going to get sick and tired, and Facebook's going to be the next MySpace.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some people don't believe it, but it's going to happen. You know.
Mm-hmm. Gotta recognize, yo. Best to recognize. It's going to happen, and man, I'm telling you, they gonna. Y'all better get y'all some bottled water, get y'all some canned goods or something, cans of them tamales and ravioli. Y'all better, man.
Oh yeah.
Y'all better prepare for all that little, that little, you know, I'm talking about that starchy food. Y'all be prepared for it.
Yeah.
Processed food. Be prepared.
Oh, we had a hurricane last year here in Houston, and everybody was caught by surprise. They didn't have no supplies. You know, everybody was too worried about what was going on in the news with the FBI investigations, and little did they know Harvey was coming. It was coming. Then they say, "Oh, it's coming to Texas. Get ready!" And guess what? Within 12 hours, all the grocery stores were pretty much out of the good essentials, and those who don't prepare for the end for things like this are going to be caught by surprise.
Word.
And you know, there's a parable I'd like to share with everybody. The pastor at church told us there was a guy that he was in an area that it started raining and it started to flood, and the police came, knocked at his door, and he said, "Hey, you need to get out of here. You know, they say it's going to be a couple feet of water." And the guy says, "Nah, God will take care of me. He won't forsake me." It's like, all right, I'm out of here. I could barely drive out.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, somebody on a boat comes and he says, "Hey, get on the boat, get out of here. They're like, no, my God will take care of me. Next thing you know, he's on the roof, and a helicopter Coast Guard comes by and says, come on, what are you waiting for? He says, nope, my God will take care of me. Well, this guy ends up passing, he goes to heaven, and he says, God, why did you forsake me? Why did you let me die? And God turns around and snickers, and he gets mad, and he says, I sent you the police. I sent you a neighbor with a boat. I sent you the Coast Guard, but you didn't listen. And these are all signs that are happening in society right now, And if we don't listen, we're going to have a lot to answer to on Judgment Day.
Mm-hmm. We will. And we got to, what? That's why we got to rebuke everybody, man. That's that's allowing Satan to use them. Let's just tell the truth. When Satan is using you, we got to rebuke them. Even the people that we love, we got to rebuke them, because Jesus had to rebuke Peter. You know what I'm talking about? Jesus had to rebuke Peter, and we got to rebuke one another too.
Yeah, it's so easy to say bad things, to spread rumors and criticize. You got a board hanging out of your eye, but you're complaining about somebody having a speck in their eye.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Mind ourselves first. And the future of this country is unfortunately in the hands of the education system and people like us trying to raise kids to be strong, to be able to fight against whatever this is, spiritual warfare.
Mm-hmm.
We can't sit behind, wars aren't won by people standing behind and looking from a mile away, because eventually that war is going to be brought to your footsteps. One day someone's going to come to your kid and they're going to be tempted. We've all been tempted of things, but we need to remember our kids will be tempted even more.
Yes.
We live in a desensitized civilization now, society.
Yes, we do.
Everything's normal. It's okay to be this. It's okay to be that. It's okay to watch this. It's okay to say that.
It's your right. It's your right. It's your right. It's their right. It's their right. Like, oh,
it may be okay for a liberal to say something, but I'm sure as heck not going to be tolerating my kids while they're minors. We got to keep the tree straight. If you wait till your kid's 18 and then you try to straighten them out,
yeah,
it's probably too late unless they get in the military.
Yep.
They get straightened up by force.
Hey, I got an exclusive show tomorrow at 7:00. A liberal. I'm bringing a real liberal that took political science and everything. Pure liberal. He's a white dude, and we're gonna have a discussion. I'm gonna ask him questions like, what do you think about the next generation? I'm gonna ask him about censorship. I'm gonna come back on him with that. I'm gonna ask him, do you think we're gonna lose our country? I'm gonna be like, do you think the left would be biased on social media, on YouTube and stuff? I'm gonna ask him these questions that are very important right now, and I'm gonna eat him up with the questions.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna be respectful. At the same time, be respectful with him. I'm gonna ask everybody in the chat room, be respectful to him. I don't want to. I mean, if you do it, I'm not gonna be mad at y'all, but I'm not gonna go with no libtards and stuff right here on here. Just let them talk.
Yeah. Do you remember all the riots during Obama? You remember all the Republicans burning down buildings? I don't. When Obama won, when Obama won, my mentality was, when Obama won his first term, was okay. Let's see what he's got, And they tried to push to us, oh, if you're racist, you're not going to vote for him, and people fell for it. And the left. When you talk to this guy, he's probably going to try. I think science confuses people. It confuses people. With this hurricane that just came in to North Carolina and South Carolina, it was coming in at a category 4. And within 24 hours, guess what? It was 95 miles an hour. How does that happen? Oh, it was science. You know what? I think it was God, people praying and their answers being the prayers being answered. And science, I think, is meant to confuse people, to fill in the gap.
Yep. Fill in the gap. Pacify them.
Yeah. You know, my social circle, I teach my kids, look, you have people around you that are just around you, they're acquaintances, and then you have your friends. You know, I could count my friends on two hands that aren't family. And unfortunately, kids, they don't know how to pick friends, you know. My daughter had some friends that were, I thought they were good, and then I start, you know, hearing from other parents that just certain things that I would rather not share, and I'm like, wow, my daughter's her friend and hangs around her. People are gonna think she's like her, and I told my daughter, look, you need to be careful on who you associate yourself with. You know, you can have friends, excuse me, but people are gonna judge you by who you hang around with, and it's happening. And our kids, I don't know. Sometimes one would rather not think about what's happening in the schools right now, but you know, you just send your kid off to school, then you go to work, you come home, your kid comes home from school, and then what?
Right.
Sunday comes around, you go to church, you sit down, you go eat, you go home and watch a game, cook some barbecue, and repeat it all over again.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta slowly break that cycle.
Yep. Break the cycle, y'all. Break the cycle. We gotta break that. If we don't break that cycle, more lives will be lost. More lives will be lost if we don't break that cycle. More brains are going to be deteriorating if we don't break that cycle. More unnormal stuff is going to happen if we don't break that cycle. We will, you know what? We will chop off the globalist head. We will do that. We will, you know what? We will come right at them. We gotta, because you know why we were coming at them? Because we have that shield of protection. We don't even have to take a sword on them because the word of God is sharper than a double-edged sword.
It's gonna be like Daniel in the lion's den. The Lord he closed the lion's mouth. They were there sitting there just watching. What's gonna look? They're gonna eat Daniel up. And guess what? Mm-hmm. The Lord shut the lion's mouth. Amen. And saved them. We're living in modern day David and Goliath. We're all fighting spiritual warfare. We don't think that we're anybody, but you are somebody. Mm-hmm. You know, you can make a difference. I have a coworker that he's from Venezuela.
Okay.
And I only talked to him maybe 2 or 3 times. And we were working on I work in the oil and gas, and we had to work all U.S. holidays. And so one day it was just him and I was playing some Christian music, and I played a song, and he's like, "Who is that?" I'm like, "Well, that's this such and such guy, Juan Carlos Alvarado." And he's like, "Well, I like that song." And then I got moved to a different department. About 8 years later, he's working on a team with my team, and he's like, "Hey, you remember me?" I'm like, "Yeah, I remember you. Your name's Eric." Yeah. That song that you played for me, you know, it changed my life. And I was just listening to it because I had a playlist back when YouTube was barely getting taken off.
Right.
And you don't never know what's going to happen. You may say something to somebody today, and it'll stay in their subconscious mind for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then whether if it's the spirit of discernment or the Holy Spirit gives them a revelation.
Hallelujah.
And they wake up.
Mm-hmm.
They wake up. They wake up. And I've seen this happen in front of me with this guy at work. I have a veteran friend of mine. I played him. I help him because he's a veteran with his computer issues, and he always gives me stuff like pocket knives and you know, just stuff, cool stuff. And one day I played a song "La Via Dolorosa" in Spanish, and that song's about the how Jesus had to carry the cross through that path that he took on the way to being crucified. He started crying. I'm like, what's going on, Rusty? He's like, I don't understand those words, but it's making me cry. Like that's the Spirit. That's the Holy Spirit reaching out to you. You know, why else would you be crying if you heard a song in a foreign language?
Mm-hmm.
And we plant these seeds unknowingly, whether they be good or bad. You know, whether it be a political seed. You know, I have a bunch of friends. I have a couple friends that they were like, "Oh, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter," and I think I heard it on your show or somebody else's show, and it was Black Lives Matter until it comes to abortion, and then they don't matter. And a couple of them came back and was like, you know what? I did some research on how many African American babies are aborted every year, and it's amazing. It's amazing. It's a lot. And these little seeds that we plant, we may know or not. We may not even know that we're planting them. But hey, you know, you're being touched, you're being used, and you don't even know it for good.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on here, I got a little notification. But you know, I'll let y'all know a little secret. I voted for Obama his second. I voted against him the first term, and then the second term, I was kind of brainwashed. They're saying,
wow, the second term?
Yeah, well, I only voted for him just the second. The first time I voted against him, but I was so brainwashed. Back then when I used to watch cable, I was under the impression that Bush screwed things up so bad that Obama needed a second term to fix it, and I fell for it. I just, you know, I voted straight ticket Republican, but I put Obama in as the president because I figured, you know, let's give this guy a chance. Let's give Barry another chance. And now I look at the economy, all his policies being turned back, and he's trying to take credit for it. Like, I remember him saying, how's Trump going to how's he going to get to 3% or 4% GDP? He's got some type of magic wand. And now we're at 4.3 or 4.4, and he's trying to take credit for it. It's just, you know.
Yes. Yeah. It's thunder out here. Hey everybody, stand by like around 7:00. I'll be going live with Queen Antifa on here tonight on Google Hangouts. Me and Queen Antifa. This should be fun. Me and Queen Antifa. I will be interviewing Queen Antifa. Queen Antifa is a transgender, and I will be going live with Queen Antifa. Y'all want to miss this? Y'all know what I'm talking about with Queen Antifa.
I never heard of Queen Antifa.
Well, you're gonna see Queen Antifa tonight. You know, Queen Antifa. She's the queen of Antifas, or whatever she is. We're gonna go with Queen Antifa.
You know what? I've been studying these last couple nights on how to use YouTube. Okay. I figured out how to share my desktop, and I need to send you a link. There's a new video of something that happened in California with Antifa. It'd be nice if you showed Queen Antifa. What do you think about this?
It's a parody. It's a parody. Queen Antifa's a parody.
Oh, he's a parody. Oh, is it the skinny one? The skinny
that's kid? My character I use. I want to blow my cover, but that's me. I'm Queen Antifa. The Queen Antifa live in a basement with her mama, and eat Pop-Tarts and Hot Pockets all day. So talk about the Hot Pockets and say, Mom, I'm grounded still. And you're going to see Queen Antifa. This is exclusive tonight. I'll be interviewing Queen Antifa.
Can't wait. Get some Tide Pods.
Antifa has spoken. Y'all know that voice. Mom.
Look, I got another handshake and a nod pointing at my truck.
Yeah, you haven't seen Queen Antifa in a while, Talia. You're gonna see him tonight. This is gonna be lit tonight. So make sure y'all get y'all drink on and watch this. Queen Antifa. And you got people in the live chat that I even know thought Queen Antifa was a real person. Like, you idiot. They're like, oh my God. Y'all know that's me under there, under that mask. I'll be laughing.
It reminds me of a guy. He used to run a show here not in Houston, but they'd air it. His name was Phil Henry. He would make up all these voices. Phil Henry. And Yeah, Phil, like Philip, and then last name Henry. And he would do parody shows, but I never knew it. I listened to him the first time. And I'm like, what? What the heck is this? I totally fell for it.
So, Queen Antifa is coming tonight. This is going to be lit tonight. Queen Antifa.
Awesome.
Queen Antifa cries all the time, whine, always offended about everything, talking about his butt hurts, talking about you. It's their right to be whatever they want to be. You said even if a person think they're black and they're really white, it's their right to be black, even though they're white or white, whatever, vice versa. So Queen Latifah is an interesting person. So Queen Latifah tonight.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Don't forget to subscribe. Like, subscribe, and share. Share, y'all.
Yeah, we're gonna need y'all to invite some people for tonight's show. Let them watch their reaction.
Yeah, sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. So I'll be interviewing Queen Antifa tonight. So, all right, I'm about to sign off of here, Josh. Anything you got to say?
No, just do so. Don't stand idle. Do something. Even it don't matter how small it is. Whether it's putting a bumper sticker on your car, or if you see somebody at the mall. My buddy used to do this. He used to see kids dragging their pants in the mall, and he'd go talk to them and say, "Hey, it may look cool right now, but when you go apply for a job, you think they're gonna hire you when your pants are hanging down to your ankles? It may seem like a small little thing, but one day that seed's gonna grow up, and once they see that they can't get a job, they're gonna say, you know what? Let me pick up these pants. And your job is done. I'm through.
All right. All right. Stand by, bro. Stand by. Talk to you.